Profit of thought.
We gotta stop this shit.
Open your mind. This is X from the Prophet of Thought series, also known as the Frontistery. I'm out in New York City once again, and I'm in Far Rockaway, literally right on the shore of the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, I can literally throw a rock at the ocean from where I am, literally. But anyway, I came out this morning, and it might have been about 6:30, to have a smoke. And I noticed there were women everywhere. I mean, women are everywhere. Black women, of course. They were everywhere. And all I saw was women. I mean, and they were everywhere. And one thing all of these women had were children behind them, in front of them, walking alongside them, or they were carrying them, or they were pushing them in a stroller. Okay? Now, when you hear that, you would think what's so, odd and out of the ordinary about that. But with all of these women walking around here, I'm telling you, I literally saw no men. I mean, where I'm staying in Far Rockaway, it's not too far from the school. And you see women walking, the kids to school, and they've got a baby in their arm, and they're taking the other one to school. And I mean, you saw that back and forth for about a good hour. And I'm telling you, I literally saw no men. Okay? No men anywhere. It's like the men were literally invisible. Now, with all these women walking around here and all these kids, they've had to have had men at some point, unless they have a freaking turkey baster full of semen in their cryogenic freaking container inside the house that they break out every couple of years and use. So these women have had men at some point. It's almost as if the men climb up on them, ejaculate in them, and then they must throw them in the ocean that's right down the block, or kill them like a female praying mantis kills her mate, or a black widow spider or something. I mean, it's crazy. And you don't see any men at all walking with all these women and all these kids. You don't see any men walking with kids. So you would think, okay, fine, it's early in the morning. Maybe the brothers are at work, or they home getting ready for work or something. But the crazy thing is, I was out here yesterday in the afternoon, and I didn't see any men in the afternoon, or did I see any men at night? So literally, there are no men around here. None. There's just a bunch of women with a bunch of kids. That's all you see. And I believe that this place, this little borough of New York City, is a snapshot of many other cities. I mean, the men are literally not there. They're not there. You don't see men really walking the streets. You don't see men, inside the store. I mean, like I said, we're in New York City. So you usually have to park the car, at least a block or two from wherever you're going, which I had to do the other day. So I parked the car about a block and a half up from where I was staying at. And as I got out of the car, the women in the neighborhood, as I walked, every freaking curtain opened, every blind went up, and every woman staying on this block was glued to her window. And they watched me walk right into the house that I walked into. And it's crazy because I came out this morning, and I come out, and then have a smoke, and stand by the car. And whenever I come out the door, practically every freaking woman on this block comes out her door too. She's either out the door checking her mail, she's sweeping the porch, she's looking down here, or she's just literally standing in her door, just standing there. Okay, so I thought that was a fluke too. So I came out maybe an hour or two later. As soon as I walked out the door, every freaking woman hit her window, and about 30 seconds after hitting her window, they were out the door. They were in the yard. They were standing by the mailbox. I said, this is pathetic. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it's not like I'm this fabulously good-looking guy or nothing like that. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably a 5.5, okay? But I knew that they were glued to their windows and coming out of their doors and, raising their blinds because there was a man on the block. Something they don't see. It was almost like I was walking through the land of the Amazons, where they was like, oh my God, there's a man, And it happened every single time I came out of the door. Okay, I was actually getting myself ready for it. When I got ready to come out the door, I was like, okay, let me go out here. I'm gonna smoke a cigar and go by my car, and I'm gonna count how many of these women come to their window, come to their door, check their mail. It's like it's like a man is an alien species around here, because the block that I'm on, I mean, I think I maybe counted maybe 2 or 3 men that live on this block, if that many. I mean, you come here as a man, you're like an alien. You're like a being from another world. It's like nothing you've ever seen. I mean, I'm outside now, okay, and I'm looking, and all I see is women. That's it. I see women with kids, and I've been out here for at least a good hour and a half, and I have absolutely seen not one single male except the mailman. That's it. I mean, we live in a world now, especially in our inner cities, where the black man is virtually invisible. He's invisible. I don't know if the men that these women are having these babies by are just losers, or are they literally invisible? Maybe they're really here. Maybe they're really here walking around and we just can't see them. But I mean, absolutely positively no men walking around here whatsoever. And you know that these women have been with men because they got kids, okay? Unless they all went and had in vitro fertilization or something, there had to be some men involved with all of these women. But you do not see them. I start to wonder, maybe these women, maybe they just go out and have one-night stands and get pregnant, or maybe, just maybe, the dudes that they're picking are dudes who don't really want them. I mean, you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. But when you see this kind of stuff, what it does is it makes you think, like, what are we doing as black people? How can so many kids be brought into this world and there be no fathers around, no men in these kids' lives, no men to take them to school, no men to pick them up from school, no men to take them to the park? I didn't even see any. I looked over, the park isn't far from where we are, and you saw lots of kids there at the park running around, but you saw absolutely no men in that park. None. It's almost, like I said, it's almost like living in the land of Amazons, because all you see is women and children. And it's so sad. It's so sad. I mean, even when I walked around to the store, when I walked in the store, the dude behind the counter of the store was like, hey, how's it going, sir? You finding everything okay, sir? And I just thought the man was being polite, but as I start to think about it, I'm probably the first man he's seen come in his store in 6 months. It's ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous, and I don't know for sure, but something tells me that only black neighborhoods have a tendency to look like this. And there's something that has to be done. I mean, I talk about this kind of stuff all the time, and it is the downfall of us as a people. It's the downfall of us as a people when you can have hundreds of women walking around with children with them and not see any damn men. And the crazy thing is that most of these women, if you was to walk up to them and ask them right now, the first thing they would say is, oh, I don't need no man. Or they would probably say, oh, their daddy ain't shit. Now, this is after they done dumped out some babies by these same dudes that they claim they don't need, and these dudes that ain't shit. And the really crazy, ridiculous part of it is that some of these women have multiple children, and they got different faces, so you know they got different daddies. And still, they're walking around here manless, literally. No man in sight. No man in sight. And the only way things are going to improve in neighborhoods like this and neighborhoods like this all over this damn country is that men are going to have to be re-injected into these communities. They have to be. They have to be. If men are re-injected into these communities, you will see less crime. You will see less poverty. I think you will see less despair. Especially if they're real men. And who knows? You get some real men into these communities, maybe the damn women, they might just shape up too. That's not for sure, but it is a possibility that they may shape up too. But as it stands now, no men in sight. The men are virtually invisible. Prophet of Thought series. Open your mind.